Hi there everyone, Jackie back again with another project for you. I am JMC Creates and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in the UK and I live in Northern Ireland. And this is today's project. I have 6 grandkids and a niece and a nephew that I make gifts for at Easter time, at Christmas time, etc. But I'm aware of the fact that they get loads of candy and sweeties and chocolate eggs. So I try to make them something that is not too much sweetie stuff, and I give them money. So a while ago I made my grandkids the shadow boxes with the tube treats in them, and today I decided I would do another project, and this is what I come up with. And this is a little divided box with 6 sweeties in it that looks really pretty. It gives them a little present, but it's not too much chocolate or sweets. So for this project I used the, what is that called? It's called Eclectic Layers Thinlits, and I've used that die in the centre of my box. This is the bundle of love papers on the blue side. This here is a little gift tag that I made, and I used the Miss Magic stamp and die set to create a little tag. I just put for you in the back, and that for you is from Labels to Love. And this is just a little die I had in my stash that I created it with. Okay, so I stamped one, cut them out, die cut another one out, stuck them back to back, and you could write your little name in there then if you wanted. And I added some of the Stampin' Up sequins in there, and then some gems from my stash. And these stars are from my stash, and this little enamel star is from Stampin' Up. So that's what we're going to create today, okay? Today we are going to use gems, Eclectic Layers Thinlits again. This is the Trim Your Stocking Thinlits and dies, and I actually used this little heart out of it for this one because I'm going to make a girl's version. I used Melon Mambo to start. That's my little XOXO that I'm putting inside, and that's the unicorn from Miss Magic that I'm using this time. Okay. And I used that XOXO for inside my tag this time, and that's from Bloomin' Love. Bloomin' Love, huh? That's the Miss Magic dies. Okay. And that's the Miss Magic unicorn. Okay. I'm going to use a little bit of gold trim. This is a little die that I found in my stash that I created my tag with. You're just going back to back like that. And this is the diamond from the Eclectic Layers, and I'm going to stick this heart on top of it on foam pads to tie my tag round this time. Okay, so I've already done most of the die cutting, but when I'm doing the lid I'm going to pause it, go and cut it and come back so as you can see it's being done. Okay, I'm just going to stick them together, and you need when all else fails, stab it with a pointy thing. Right, I'm just going to let that sit up there and dry. Please remember me where I put that or I'll forget. Today we are going to use the Paint It With Love papers for our lid, and Very Vanilla. Right, you'll need a bit of acetate for this. That is roughly, yes, roughly 4 1/4 by 2 5/8. Okay, now don't get lost acetate or I shall beat you with a big stick. Right, for your lid, I'll do that while I remember. for your lid you need a piece of card that is 8 5/8 by 5 3/4. For your base you need a bit that is 6 5/8 by 9 1/2, and that is reinforced, and so is your lid. And this is just an A4 piece of card, and it measures 2 1/2, and this is what I'm using for my insert. Okay, this is pernickety scoring. 7 8, then it's 1 1/2, then it's 2 1/8, then it's 3 5/8. Oh, by the way, this is a very vanilla card I'm using. I used the same for both boxes. 3 5/8, 4 1/4, 4 1/4, 5 1/8, 5 1/8, 5 3/4, 5 3/4. For goodness sake, I wrote them down and they're not even there now. So 2 4 5 6 3/8, 2 4 6 7 1/4. Is that right? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Yes. And then 2 4 5, which is 7 7/8. 8 1/2, 8 1/2, let me see that, 8 1/2, 9 3/8, 10, that is right, 10, that is right, gosh, I doubted myself there, 10 and 10 5/8. And that's all your scoring for your compartment. Right, put that little bit of acetate where I can see it. This is your base. And what you want to do in this base is score it at 1 and 2, all 4 sides. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I like doing my boxes like this because even if you need to leave an 1/18 of an inch or a 1/16 of an inch even, the sides are all the same, so it doesn't matter. It's pretty straightforward. Okay, so that's your base done, and then for your lid you want to score at 3/4 and 1 1/2 on all 4 sides. I'm not sure how the light is today because it's a miserable day today in Northern Ireland. Yucky, grey and rainy. Perfect day for crafting. And 1 1/2. So 3/4 and 1 1/2 all 4 sides, and that's all your scoring done. Okay. All done bar the burnishing. See that piece of acetate? Do not get lost. So, actually that needs to go back. I'm going to show you what this is. Basically, this is your piece of card, and each of the 2 5/8 bits, it's scored at 7/8, then 5/8 more, then 5/8 more, and you repeat that the whole way along. 7/8, 5/8 and 5/8, and it's going to sit like that. Glue in the middle. So that bit's down and that bit's up. That bit's down and that bit's up. Nope. It's not the same the whole way along. You need 2 down there and 1 up. 2 2 down and 1 up. I know I'm talking to myself, but it's to remind me how I'm scoring this. And then all you're going to do with that is on the 2 5/8 bits. This is just a tape pen I'm using. You don't put it on the 7/8 section, just on the... Oh, come on, don't tell me you run out. For goodness sake. Right, we'll just put a wee bit of this one. And that one. And that is your compartment section then. All ready to roll. Bar the sweeties. I forgot to get out sweeties. Jeez, I'll have to find some sweeties. Not that there's a shortage of sweeties in this house, because there's boxes full of my drawers, as my grandson has discovered. I keep boxes of sweeties for projects, and TJ comes up the stairs and he says, "Go on, honey." And I say, "What, darling?" And he says, "What do I smell?" As if he could smell sweeties. He's so silly. We don't. He's only 4. And I say, "I don't know, what do you smell?" And he says, "I smell sweeties." So then I have, of course, it's like a granny's unwritten code that you have to provide sweeties. So I do. I know. In TJ's eyes, I'm an amazing granny. In his mother's eyes, I think I'm a terrible granny. Actually, I am an amazing granny. I help my daughter. So, you're going to cut on the second score line. Actually, cut on the first score line too, down into the second score line. So from the first score line and your second score line on the long side, cut down into the second score line. You're basically just cutting 3 squares away at the bottom here to reinforce this box. Okay? So you're cutting this one, and this one away on all sides. Oops, wrong one. Don't ignore that one. Outside, outside, outside. The 3 outside squares are all going away. Say goodbye, squares. Goodbye. Gosh, I'm roasting now. 1 minute you're freezing, and the next minute you're roasting over here. And you're going to actually cut the 3 outside squares away on the lid too. Exactly the same as this. See, so I am actually taking the whole score lines out completely. And then I'm going to go back and taper them so that they fold in nicely and the edges fold over the top without too much coercion. I like coercion, but not on my seams. So I'm just taking a bit off either side of every one of them. I find it easier to fold them in and do it like this. So they and then that'll be your box done, apart from the glue, which we'll do in a minute. We'll do all the cutting first. So once again, you're taking the outside squares, and I find it easier to cut it on the inside because I can see. I have cataracts and I can see what I'm doing better on the inside, which is why I'm doing it on the inside. Please feel free to do it on the outside if you can see that better. It's a personal choice thing. It's not a necessity. So you're taking away all 3 of the outside score lines, or outside squares even. And it's as simple as that. Oh, my hands hurt. And that's it. Now you just need to do your tapering again. So I just fold them in and take a bit out from both sides. Oh, that foil card makes the light hit your eyes. That's not easy peasy. Oops, and you want to take it in because you need it cut right into the corners. Right, okay, that's that. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to die cut the top of my box. So I'm going to show you what I did, and then I'm going to pause the video and go and run this through my e-bosser. So just put it down where you want it. It's as simple as that. Put it down approximately in the middle. Get some repositionable tape and stick her down. Right, I'll be back in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. And we're back. That was quick, wasn't it? So there we have our die cut piece of box. So what we need now is to find the acetate which we left there. Aren't we clever? Okay, just stick a couple of bits of tape along the 2 sides. There's a bit of colour. Where you want your acetate to go. Okay. And take off your tape. And stick on your stuff. And there we go. That's our acetate in. And our box is now covered, ready for sticking. So we're going to put glue on the 4 tab squares. Make sure we stick, and you're just going to bend and fold back in and make sure you have a nice straight, flat, nothing goes over edge. Okay, round and in and hold. That foil card is not as easy stuck as plain card, so you might need to hold it slightly longer, like that. And we'll do the same again down there then. Nice flat edge. So I'll use glue, and you want to cover the 2 sides that have the tape. What do you call it? Come on. tabs in. First, you want to fold over and do them first, the two sides that have the tabs, so that they're nice and neatly covered. Okay. And the same on the other side. You just hold it down a little minute or two, and it will be good for you. Right. And then your other two, just fold them over to you, and that's it. That's your lid done. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And then just run your bone folder over your edges. Make sure they're nice and sharp and flat. And that's your lid done. And then you take your insert and it goes in like that. And cross your fingers and your lid goes on like that. Perfection. What we need now is some sweeties. Sweeties, 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 sweeties. There's an orange one, and a white one, and a brown one, and another brown one. What colour? I wonder would that one fit? Oh yes, it would fit. Alright. Oh no, actually I prefer that one. Pink. Pink and green. There we go. 6 sweeties. And the parent can't say that you're overindulging. Okay? Put your lid on. Right? And this is how I finished it. I got these. Stamped one, die cut it, and die cut another. And stamped the XOXO from Bloomin' Love on top of it. And that's going to sit on there like that with this little bit here that I so you're going to stick the top bit on that side. Okay. And then the bottom bit right on top of it, so that they match exactly. We're going to put our diamond on there and our heart on top. A couple of foam pads that we can tie some string around, or ribbon, or whatever the heck you want to use. Okay, and that's just going to sit on there like that. Okay, right, where's our ribbon? Aha, just cut a length of twine or whatever you want to use. Fold it in half, push the folded end through the hole and bring the other sides through. Okay, then you're going to put that on there with a little bit of foam tape. Come. Oops, stuck on my scissors. Okay. You're going to just do your best to peel the backing off, even if it doesn't want to come, which it doesn't. Ha! I win. I win, as TG would say. I win! Right. And then all I did was sort of bend that round a little bit and tie it on there. Okay. Right, and I cut my ends off, and then I put some glue on them to stop them raveling. Like this. I know, messy, I know, but it works for me. Just to stop my ends raveling. Because that twine stuff I'm using is just for my stash, and it does have a tendency to ravel. What's next? Gems. Another one I stuck on some Stampin' Up sequins and then some gems from my stash on top. I'm just going to put some gems from my stash onto this one. Are these cut up, are they? Yeah. Right, and you just set them on the middle of all of them wee flowers. I think there's about 8 in all. And I did put one of my knight's sword or shield as his little emblem on the boys one. As far as I'm concerned. It's not finished if it doesn't have a gem on it. Oops. And that's it. That's my project. I might just put one on my heart too while I'm at it. That's it. That's today's project. That's the girls one with the Paint It with Love, and that's the boys one with Bundle of Love, and they both used the Magical Day and the Eclectic Layers. So thanks for stopping by, folks. I hope you liked what I did today, and I'd love it if you give me a thumbs up and subscribe and come back for some more. Till next time, Jackie, over and out.